Hey everyone, it's Tyler Strike from Universal Rackets, and we're going over the 3 top reasons why your third shot drives are going long. If you watch this video, you will learn the 3 top reasons why players can't keep their ball in the court when they hit their drive. Let's get started. So reason number 1, the main reason why, think of it this way, if it's tight, it's not going to be right. Once again, if you hold the paddle tight, it's not going to be right. If you hold the paddle tight, scale 1 to 10, 10 being a death grip, 1 being super loose, if you hold that at an 8 or above, you're going to make contact and the ball's going to go long. The reason why is if you grip this paddle tight, the ball or the paddle's not going to be able to create topspin. You need to hold the paddle loose. If you want to hit hard and you want to get the ball in, you need to hold the paddle loose, not tight. Now, at first, it's going to be weird because in pickleball, to gain control, you have to give up control. The more you let the paddle work for you instead of working for the paddle, the better it's going to be. And players, they're going to go and what do? They slow it down and they grip it tight. Okay, they can hit it in, but it's not going to go hard. You're going to go out, you're going to hold that paddle loose, and the ball's going to feel like you can't control it. But what's going to happen though is you're going to start to see the rotation, the spin, and what's going to happen, you're going to be able to hit a good shot and it's never going to go long again. So reason number 1 is hold the paddle loose. If you hold the paddle tight, it's not going to be right. Now there's 2 exercises that you can do to ensure that you have a looser grip and a slight bit looser. If you're a scale 1 to 10, if you're a 10, be an 8. If you're an 8, be a 6. A little goes a long way. You can do, number 1, you can squeeze your wrist with your non-dominant hand. By squeezing my wrist with my non-dominant hand, that's going to focus all my grip here, so that's going to help my paddle be loose. So go hit some forehands or hit some backhands if you have a one hand. If you have a 2-hand, this isn't going to work, but you're going to hit with squeezing your wrist and that's going to make you hold your paddle loose. The second thing that you can do is instead of gripping your paddle with your whole hand, you're going to grip it with your index finger and your thumb, or 2 fingers and your thumb. Doing this is again going to teach you how to hold that paddle loose, which will in return keep the ball in. The second thing, the number 2 reason why players miss the ball long is because of one little thing. It's not because they're inexperienced, it's not because they're old, it's not because they haven't played tennis before, it's because their paddle face isn't in the proper position. If your paddle face is not in the proper position, regardless if you are a Ben Johns, if you're Annalie Wooders, whoever, what's going to happen? It's going to go long. And the reason why is because players miss the ball long because they're opening their paddle face at contact. I want you to think of an arrow shining out the center of my paddle face. If my paddle face is like this, where's the arrow shining? That way, right? So what's going to happen? The ball is going to shoot up like Elon Musk with one of his rockets, or like Neil Armstrong going up to outer space. So instead of keeping your paddle open at contact, you're going to close your paddle face, or you're going to keep your paddle face square. That's going to help the ball go forward and down into the court instead of opening the paddle face and having it go up. The more I tilt my paddle face downward, the more topspin I'm going to get. Now, how do I hit topspin? Well, if you tilt your paddle face normally, that's going to automatically get topspin because look, it's going to brush the back of the ball, so you don't even have to think about it. Now, some players, they miss the ball long because they're tilting their paddle face, but then at contact, they're opening their paddle face. So again, they're listening, but then they open your paddle face. Just think you're not turning your wrist. You never want to open your wrist for your forehand too. You never want to turn your wrist. You want to get that bad boy in the proper position and then just swing. Your wrist should never turn like this. So that is the second reason. Now, the third reason why their ball is going long is what is my favorite quote in pickleball that I say in all these videos. In pickleball, to gain control, you have to give up control. The more you let the paddle work for you, the less you work for the paddle, the better it's going to be. And then you're going to get consistency and you're going to win like 1, 2, 3. Just kidding. I'm not a rapper. Well, I am a rapper. You can check out my other YouTube channel. I'll put in a link in the description. However, what are you going to do? You're going to do a full follow through. A lot of players, they are afraid to hit a big ball. They're afraid to hit the drive. They don't want it to go high. They don't want it to go high to their opponents. So what do? They stop at contact. The moment that you slam the brakes is the moment the ball is going to go long. What happens when you stop at contact? I'm swinging super loose and then stop. Look, I have to grip my paddle tight. So this kind of goes 1 and 3. They're kind of the same thing, but they're stopping at contact. Or they're not fully following through. In pickleball, again, you have to fully follow through. You have to let the paddle go. So instead of stopping at contact or just trying to get the ball in, do a full swing. Now for the forehand, you have 3 different cues to ensure that you get a full swing. Number 1 is your elbow, point your elbow. Number 2 is your watch, look at your watch. Number 3 is the butt cap, point your butt cap towards your opponent. Now for the backhand, 2 hands, you have elbows up, point both your elbows forward, or you could have butt cap forward. And for the one-handed backhander, you have the left side of the letter V. When I fully follow through again, it's on the left side of the letter V. I'm never moving like this or stopping here. I am fully following through, or I can think that the tip of my paddle is pointing towards the left side as well. So either think tip of the paddle or V if you're a visual learner, and that'll ensure that you follow through. So if you struggle on your 3rd shot drive for your forehand and you're stopping like this, well, guess what? You're gonna pick a follow through cue, and every single time, just make sure you end up there. Now, I want you to think of your follow-through cue that it happens as a result, you don't force it. Once again, when you hit these follow-through cues, you're not forcing your arm to get there. You're just holding the paddle so loose that it ends up there as a result. If you can do this in your pickleball game, you're going to completely transform your game and you will never miss the ball long again. Or if you miss the ball long, it's not going to be because of these top 3 reasons. So make sure, again, you hold the paddle loose, not tight, it's not going to be right. You tilt your paddle downward. You don't open your paddle face because your ball is going to shoot up to the moon, and you fully follow through. The best way to do this is to get someone to drill with you. Get someone to drill with you with a ton of balls. If you have 1 or 2 balls or you're playing a match, you're going to want to win the point, or you're going to want to not miss because you want to keep that ball going. Get a ton of balls. Get someone, get your aunt, your uncle. It's holiday season. You're going to be seeing a ton of people. Get them to hit balls to you. And all you're going to do is just hit and just go for every single shot. Fully follow through. Tilt the paddle downward, and you're never going to miss the ball long again. Have going, happy hitting, share with friends, like, subscribe, check out my rapping channel, and I will see you guys next time on court.